It's Tegan here, and I'm ready for another live stream. Tegan Live. It's Saturday. I don't have a name for my show yet, so I'm just calling it Tegan Live. Still got to work on an intro or some sort of thing, though I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out and how any of it works. But if you're here, thank you. Calling it Tegan Live. Still got to work. Always checking my other things to make sure everything is good. So, what is on the docket? Some interesting news. As always, trying to focus on just adaptation, but sometimes things come up that I'm not expecting. There's always new news coming up during the week. This week, a couple of new bits of info on the God of War TV show, the Helldivers movie. Tim Kaine is coming back to Obsidian for a secret game, so that's really cool. Also, Fallout Season 2, Prime just dropped their first little teaser scene, which they tend to do when a new show is about to come up. They did the same thing last season, and just yesterday they dropped a new, not even a minute long scene-ish. So I thought it would be fun to start off the show with that, just to have a watch. I already watched it a couple of times to break down a couple of things, see if we learn anything new from it. So, gotta make sure we're watching the right thing first. I don't know. Entire screen seems to be the only way to do it. Yeah, it does that stupid thing right there that I don't like. I don't know how else to do it. See, and then when I look at my stream on other things, I don't know if I'm still there in the corner or not with my handsome face. All right, looks like I'm there. Full screen this. Make sure, get rid of that. Make sure it's on the highest byte rate. Well, I haven't liked this yet? Okay, now I have.
Hi. Excuse me. So sorry. I'm hoping you can settle an argument between myself and my traveling companion there. We are hunting down my father, who is not a good guy. And on this journey, we found ourselves in need of food and supplies. Plan A was to leave you alone and avoid this scenario altogether, but we tried that and I just start starving to death. Plan B, his idea, by the way, was for me to turn him over to you so that you would open up your safe and give me the considerable bounty you put out on him.
Fucking shoot!
The idea was I would shoot him down, he'd take your weapons, and use whatever violence necessary in order for us to escape. Which, in my experience thus far, it's a lot of violence. So, I'm really hoping you'll agree to Plan C.
What's Plan C?
You just let us go,
Sure.
and we keep the caps you gave me. Which, to be clear, we do need for our survival. And just to ask the question, would it help if I said please?
That's loud. I don't like that. So yeah, fun little scene. And from my remembering, there's a new bit of information here. And this, what's the scene right here? Yeah, this part, this wide shot, you can see that there is a Great Khan's emblem. So, as far as I remember, this is the first time we were seeing that the Great Khan faction is going to be in here. So it seems like they're going to have some more factions because we know already for sure they're going to have the Caesar's Legion. So that's at least two factions that we know are going to be in there. I guess if you count their Brotherhood of Steel, they're always there too. So they're kind of like the common faction, but the mattress right there. I don't know. Is that just hanging because it's dirty, or they use that as like cover for when they're shooting? So I guess the cons are hanging out on Novak because this is Novak. As you can see, she's hanging out in the big dinky, the dinosaur that is a somewhat iconic thing from New Vegas. So definitely a lot of New Vegas vibes in this, with a combo of like Fallout 4 aesthetics. I recognize this guy. I feel like I've seen him in a similar role somewhere else. Maybe he was in season 1, but he looks kind of familiar. But he got that strung out, eyes are all red look, so strung out on whatever. There's my bestie, Noble Bull 360. You never cease to let me down. One of these days you're not going to show up and I'm going to be worried. Where's Noble Bull? They die? Talking about the new Fallout season scene that just dropped. That's my first topic for the day, even though I didn't put it in my scroll on the top, but I just noticed. All right. I'm crying. I'm so happy you're here. So tell me what's up, Mr. or Mrs. Bull. What you've been playing this week? I've actually been playing some BioShock 2. I'm finally going through all the BioShock games properly in order.
We are hunting down my father, who is not a good guy.
Lucy's still really mad at her dad. But you can see the 33 thing. She's still wearing the same suit. Still got the blood on it. And that gun is definitely like a New Vegas style gun with the whole modding and whatnot. She got her little Pip Boy going on. Pretty big. I've missed some of your shows. Well, I only have a show every Saturday. That's become my
And on
time.
this journey, we found ourselves in
I work during the week, so it's kind of hard to do a show.
need of food and supplies. Plan A was to leave you alone and avoid this scenario altogether. But we tried that, and I just start starving to death. Plan B, his idea, by the way, was for me to turn him over to you so that you would open up your safe and give me the considerable bounty you put out on him.
Fucking shoot!
The idea was I would shoot him down, you take your weapons, and use whatever violence necessary in order for us to escape. Which, in my experience thus far, is it's a lot of violence. So, I'm really hoping you'll agree to Plan C.
What's Plan C?
You just let us go. And we keep the caps you gave me. Which, to be clear, we do need for our
survival. You got a booger. Looks like there's a boo right there. Bro, you got a booger on your nose. Why didn't they tell you? By the way, before we hit action, wipe that booger off your nose. I've been playing Wu-Tang, Boosh, Banishers. That's a lot of games. I never played any of those games. Neo, Gazan, the First Berserker. I've never even heard of that one. Gazan, the First Berserker. Isn't Neo a pretty old game? I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, I can't say much. I've never fully played the BioShock 1 or 2 games at all, so those are basically new games to me. They're freaking awesome. I just wanted to take a little gander at this scene. But now I want to move over to the Tim Kaine, who just dropped a video yesterday announcing he's going back to Obsidian to work on a secret game. So let's see what he got to say about that. This is on his own YouTube channel that he just calls Timothy Kaine. And as a fellow Tim, I don't like being called Timothy. I hate it. That's right. My name is Tim. You heard it there first. I know. Backlog. I decided to let my Game Pass expire after the ridiculously new price hike again. And half the time, I barely ever really use it other than to play Fallout 76, which I love. But I wanted to try to do some more backlog because there's so many games there and it gets annoying. And then you end up buying more when they're on sale. Well, I'm definitely going to get it again so I can play Outer Worlds 2 and some of the newer stuff, like that new Marvel game looks pretty sweet.
Hi everyone, it's me, Tim. Decided to do a Kanon Games update because as you can see, things have changed.
I can't see.
Lots of changes, actually. So I thought I'd spend a fun Friday walking through the changes so you guys can know what's going on. First off, I have moved back to Southern California. I did that a little over a week ago, my time, but remember, I have a big queue. It's like 6 weeks long, I think, on this channel.
What is that?
So from your point of view, you kept seeing a bunch of videos that I filmed up in Seattle. Although you did see a video on Arcana Magic Design that popped up in this place. These shelves had nothing in it. I hadn't unpacked. It's because someone who is a super mutant paid for a priority video and wanted to know about Arcana Magic Design. So I dropped what I was doing and I talked about Arcana Magic Design and colleges and magic tech and all that stuff. I thought it was a pretty good video. Still getting used to the sound. I think the sound's a little better because when this room was empty, it was very echoey. But I've been very busy unpacking. I managed to fill all these. You'll see that this is a lot of the same stuff, but it's in a little bit of different order because my display cases are over here now where you can't see them. And I also put things in different places because based on how often I use them or what I thought looked good. What's interesting is I found a box that got moved. I used professional movers that had been moved up there and never unpacked. So it had sat in Seattle for 5 years and then moved back here. And inside of it was a jar full of dice. As if I don't have enough dice. I have a whole video on all the dice I have. As if I don't have enough dice, I found a jar full of dice. So I have even more dice now.
Why?
Also, I moved into this place and immediately this squirrel just ran up to me like she knew me, like she was my best friend. Just no fear, comes right up to me.
What's the squirrel gonna do?
Didn't know what to do. I mean, she just sat there and looked at me, and I shrugged, and I'm like, "What do you want from me? I don't know you."
These squirrels are like.
Talked to a friend of mine who feeds the squirrels and birds and all, and in her backyard. And she said, "Get some walnuts." She gave me a starter pack of walnuts. So now, whenever I leave, I have to pay the tax to this squirrel. And it's gotten to the point where she expects one when I come home too. So that's 2 walnuts a day I got to pay this thing to get to my own place.
Really?
So second, I should point out that I'm back at Obsidian.
Yeah.
I'm their full-time employee and in person, so not remote. So I'm not a contractor anymore. So this means that I'm not working in other places, although there's at least one game that I worked on that I know is going to ship. So I don't know if it'll be next year or the year after, but a game's going to come out that's not an Obsidian game. They'll have my name in the credits because I did work for it. There are other games I worked on. I'm not sure they're going to ship. The 2020 to 2025 was a weird time in the industry, and a lot of games got started and a lot of games got canceled. So I really don't know the status of all the games that I contracted on.
Shouldn't you know that?
I also can't talk about the project I'm working on at Obsidian just because, that's covered under NDA. Don't bother guessing. You're not going to guess right.
There's the big one. He's back at Obsidian working on a game saying, don't guess. No one's going to guess right. People are going to guess like crazy. Maybe someone will get it right. But there's no hints there whatsoever if it's a new game or an old game. Definitely not a Fallout because I feel like if it was Fallout, it'd be pretty obvious.
I would say that I'm probably a lot less retired now than I was before. So the whole video I have on being semi-retired, I guess I'm not. I've been here for a little over a week. I already have 4 new shirts. This is a shirt that Obsidian designed in memoriam for Terry Hess, an artist who passed away recently at Obsidian. I also went to the Outer Worlds launch party. I guess I'll make a video about that at some point. I came home with a tattoo of the Moon Man. So, yeah. Third, I just want to say this channel is going to keep going. No one in Obsidian has even remotely suggested that I have to stop it. In fact, many of my coworkers have said that they watch this channel. And I know they did because they started telling me which videos were their favorite or what stories I said that they thought were funny. So people are saying that they like it. I'm going to keep doing it. As long as I have stories to tell as long as you have questions that are really good and that I think need a video to answer and that I can answer them. Sometimes you guys ask me questions about art or music or just things I don't know about. Someone else did it and I stuck it in the game. So as long as you ask questions I can answer, I'm going to be here answering them. It's interesting to note that this entire channel started because I wrote a really thick memoir, and everybody who read it said it was boring. And a couple people suggested that instead of writing stories about my time in game development, I talk about them. And that's what this channel is. And it's become a lot more than that since then. I now talk about current trends in game development. I answer your questions about game development. So the channel has become a lot more than just... and so I think that...
I honestly can't say what game, because honestly, like, he keeps saying don't guess. Someone's probably going to get it. People who know... Like, I don't know anything that Tim Kaine worked on other than Fallout. I could easily look that up, but okay. I hope you didn't see that. Wow, okay, look at that picture. That's this 2010 picture. It looks totally different. But what has he actually worked on? Well, he worked on the first two Fallout, so he's a co-creator of Fallout. So that's pretty awesome. Co-creator of two of my favorite actual series, period. Fallout is my favorite. Vadiogam Saraz. I wonder if they changed that, like, just recently. Because they probably said he wasn't. Years active, 2011? Oh, fuck that. That's not true. Years active. According to what? It says here he's been working since 1991, so this thing is off by like 20 years. Troika, they still exist. Where's this entire... Okay, there it is. I actually didn't know he was a director on The Outer Worlds. Tyranny, I've never heard of that one. But his entire catalog, Grand Slam Bridge, never heard of it. Bard's Tale, that could be it. The Bard's Tale, that could be what they're working on. I know that they still somewhat make those games. There's a couple of Bard's Tale games on Game Pass. I don't know. Pillars of Eternity sounds too easy. Like, if he's saying no one's going to guess it, then it probably is not going to be Pillars of Eternity. Because that's likely 99.99% of people's guesses. Stone Keep, Star Trek, Fallout 1 and 2, Arcane. I've seen some people in the comments saying it could be Arcanum. Never heard of that, but Temple of Elemental Evil. What a weird name. Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines. I didn't know he did South Park Stick of Truth. I played some of that. I've actually been somewhat playing Fractured Butthole as well, and that game is freaking awesome. And 2014, I thought it was farther back than that. This game was really good too. I haven't played it a whole lot, but I think Fractured is better. Pillars 2015, so yeah, it can't be Pillars 3. That would be too easy. I mean, if I had to guess, it'd be something brand new. And Obsidian hasn't been working on anything new that we know about. I go over to Obsidian's Wakapada Vargas. That guy's such a weird name. Spell it as Fergus. Fergus? That means people are scared of him? What did this guy work? No, I'm actually looking at... Probably not going to have what they're working on in the future. But it's interesting though. They got some games that they worked on but were canceled. Dwarfs, Aliens, Crucible, Stormlands. I don't remember hearing about any of those. But it'd be funny if it was one of these games getting resurrected. Maybe it's Alpha Protocol 2. It'd be funny if it was an Alpha Protocol either remake, remaster, or old Alpha Protocol 2. Because I remember wanting to play this when it came out, and I rented it because back in the day when you could rent games and not have to like buy them outright. And it was a cool game, but there were just some things missing from it, and it almost felt like maybe it was ahead of its time in a way. But I want to go back to it. I honestly don't even know if it's on the store to buy anywhere. I feel like it should be in Game Pass. Like, it should be in Game Pass. It seems like a very basic, a pretty obvious Game Pass, considering they have Obsidian games already in there. But I don't know. I mean, Sega could be something to do with Sega. But this was a cool game. But when I remember playing it, there was just something not there. I wasn't getting into as much as I thought I would, but I'd like to go back to it. So I think if I had to guess, it would either be an Alpha Protocol remaster or Alpha Protocol 2. That's actually my guess. It's either Alpha Protocol something or a totally brand new game. Though I saw people saying that it could be Neverwinter Nights, but I don't know those. I don't know those games at all. This year was an insane year for Obsidian. Like, what kind of dev in current times releases 3 games in a year? 2 which are like, actually, wait, did it come out late enough? No. 2 games that are like not actually. You know what? I can't remember if Outer Worlds 2 is nominated for anything. It's probably best, whatever you call it, best RPG. But the Game Awards coming up this Thursday on the 11th, which I'm gonna watch, but you know, I'm not really expecting much. I'm not dying for anything to win this time. Last year, I really wanted the lady who did Hellblade 2 to win Best Performance because she deserved it, and she did, so I'm glad. That was the only one award I really wanted to win. And this year, I'm mad that the adaptation category is pissing me off because Twisted Metal Season 2 definitely deserves to be there. And it's fucking bullshit that's not, and I don't understand why. But if you had to guess, like, give me a good guess, not something obvious like Pillars of Eternity 3. I'm officially saying it's something to do with Alpha Protocol. But again, when he says don't guess, you won't get it, that just makes me think it's something totally brand new. Because what if it's like Knights of the Old Republic 3? A South Park 3. A third South Park game. Where are you from again, Noah Bull? If you're okay with telling me, like, where do you live? I mean, so yeah, that's all there is to say about that, I suppose. It looks like they were going to work on Couture 3, yeah. But again, that's still pretty obvious. Arizona? Oh, that's where you live. I was like, Arizona? Is that a game? By the time I get to Arizona. I don't know what else to say about that. So let's go over here and look at the new God of War announcement that just happened a couple days ago. Actually, on my birthday, December 1st. This was my birthday. God of War, Frederick, Toye set to direct. Is that his name? I don't know. As pre-production and casting are underway on Amazon. With the series season 2 order, which is interesting to order season 2 seasons immediately without seeing how the first season goes, because maybe the first season could suck butt. Suck a butt. Exclusive. Prime Video's series adaptation of the popular God of War video game has added another high-profile creative auspice. Emmy Award-winning director Frederick Toye, Shōgun and the Boy. So that's a really great combo right there. Those are two stinking awesome shows. Has been tapped to direct the first 2 episodes of the live-action adventure series with Sony Pictures Television and Amazon MGM. He joins Ronald D. Moore and the series showrunner, writer, and executive producer. So that's like, there's a lot of Sony adaptations on the go. We already had Last of Us and Twisted Metal. We're doing God of War. We're doing Helldivers, which I'm going to talk about after. They're working on Horizon. They're working on a lot of Sony adaptations. It's like they've almost given up on the gaming side. Like, all right, our games are starting to suck, and we just can't compete with Xbox anymore. In terms of production, at least. I keep getting distracted by the stuff on the side. Like over here, Kerry Hoyoko Tagawa died, which is a sad guy. Sad if he's been around forever. He's in Mortal Kombat. He was the first Shang Tsung. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I should report on that. Shit. Five Nights at Freddy's Joel's box office with... I could have looked at that after, actually. Pre-production is underway in Vancouver, and casting has begun for God of War, which has received a 2-season order, originally greenlighted by Prime in December 2022. Fucking things just popping up everywhere. Originally greenlit in 2022, the project kicked into high gear following Moore's arrival as new showrunner. So that's the director, and Ronald D. Moore is the showrunner. It was followed by Prime Video quietly doubling the order to 2 seasons earlier this year. That is not unusual for series of this scope, but a platform believes in the creative because rip to the legend. Yeah, I know, bummer. That is not unusual for series of this scope when a platform believes in the creative because such show involves a lot of upfront world building costs related to production design, set building costs, and props that are better amortized over multiple seasons. Based on PlayStation's hugely popular ancient mythology-themed video game, God of War follows father and son Kratos Atreus. So they're saying that. So yeah, they're planning on adapting the first game. I mean, it seems like they're doing the 2018 game. God of War follows father and son Kratos and Atreus, the roles that are now casting as they embark on a journey to spread the ashes of their wife and mother Faye. Through their adventures, Kratos tries to teach his son to be a better God, while Atreus tries to teach his father how to be a better human. God of War produced by Sony, blah 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 blah, boring stuff. And a bunch of more boring stuff. Bunch of names that I've never heard of, don't care. Although Herman Hulst is involved. And Herman Hulst is kind of an idiot right now, so. But perhaps he's involved in all the. He's probably like automatically involved in all the Sony adaptations without him ever having actually do anything. But here, Toye has directed over 130 hours of television, including 4 episodes of Shōgun, winning a directing for a drama series Emmy for Crimson Sky. Yeah, if you haven't seen Shōgun, highly recommend it. He has become a go-to director for Prime after several years. He did some episodes of Fallout, so that's awesome. In which he also serves as executive producer. The Boys, The Terminal List, just completed directing the opening episode of the streamer's upcoming series, Terminal List, Dark Wolf. The Blood Axe, which I've never heard of Blood Axe at all. I don't know what that is. He's also directed episodes of Lost, The Good Wife, Person of Interest, American Gods, The Walking Dead, Sea, Lost, Space, Westworld, Watchmen, and Snowpiercer. So he has a lot of experience with sci-fi, fantasy type stuff. So yeah, interesting they're shooting already, or they're about to. It's underway. Pre-production's underway, so they're just in pre-production. So casting, who would you think would be a good Kratos? In the comments, let me know. My number one pick would be Jason Momoa. I think he would be a good Kratos if he shaved his head, which I wonder if he'd be willing to do, considering he has that long, luscious hair. It's like his signature. I don't think you can bald cap all that hair. Maybe they'll CGI it out. That'd be funny. It's like, I'll do the role, but I'm not cutting my hair off. But he already kind of has the size. I could definitely see him getting a little ripped up. I've seen other choices that I'm not a fan of, which would be Dave Bautista, who I think is too small now, considering he's lost all that weight. And I don't know if he's willing to gain weight back for a role anymore, because he seems to say it was unhealthy to be like that size. Other choice would be The Rock, and I'm like, no, because I'm just sick of the fucking Rock. And it'd be better if they had someone who isn't as famous, which Momoa's getting up there. Like, he's getting up there. Like, I guess they consider him an A-lister now. I'm not sure. The term they use for the best of the best in the acting world. Another choice would be Triple H, and I say no to that because Triple H is a bad actor, so why would they want that? I think Momoa would be the best choice. Or maybe Tom Hardy. Though, I think he's kind of short in real life. I feel like he's pretty short. I think Momoa is pretty tall, like in the 6-foot air range. And Kratos is a big guy. Atreus, I can't even say because they'll probably just cast a no-name kid or someone that we barely know about. And if it's 2018, he's going to be the younger Atreus, so he's going to be even more annoying. I never played Ragnarok, but I'm thinking that Atreus is probably pretty annoying in that. That being said, 2018 God of War is a pretty awesome game. Like, I don't have a PlayStation anymore, but I did have a PS4 Pro. And I really liked God of War 2018. It's a pretty amazing game, regardless of if you're an Xbox guy. I don't know, but even though my favorite PS4 game was still Spider-Man 2018, God of War is pretty close. And I'm not a God of War person. That's like the first God of War game I've ever played. But let me know who you think would be a good choice for Kratos. Like, what's your face? Totally airbrushed to shit. So she looks like she's young. Bang. Another exclusive. Justin Lin to direct Helldivers video game movie. Also December 1st. That's 2 days they dropped some adaptation news. Gary Dauberman, the scribe behind It and Annabelle horror movies, wrote the script for the Sony Pictures. So the script is already written. Justin Lin, best known for his work. How long has my show been on? No time yet? Justin Lin, best known for his work on the Fast and Furious movies, is set to direct Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions adaptation of Helldivers, based on the popular video game franchise from Arrowhead Game Studios. Lin will also produce the feature via his Perfect Storm Entertainment banner, along with Hutch Parker and PlayStation Productions Assad Gizelbash. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Carter Swan, new voice actor. Nah, that wouldn't work. He's too old, and I mean, not to say this in a racist way, but as you can clearly see, Kratos is pretty damn white. So what would they do? Paint this black dude completely white? I think he's too old. I mean, maybe, but I guess they could make him black. But like Kratos is white; he's pure white. You'd have to paint the entire guy up. I guess they could do, but I don't think that would. I don't think they would hire him. Yeah, Mo is definitely my number one choice for that. The game Helldivers 2 received critical acclaim when it first came out in 2015. Oh, the first one, which I never played and didn't even hear it. Helldivers 2 sold more than 12 million units across PS5 and PC in the first 4 months after its launch. In 2024, the game recently expanded to Sexbox and is built on teamwork, camaraderie, humor, and action. I don't know, I never played it. Trying to see how long I've been on. Oh, 36 my notes. I don't know what that means. I'm running out of topics already. I've only been on for not even 40 my notes. The concept, which recalls Sony's Starship Troopers movies, centers on an elite group of shock troopers known as Helldivers who must battle aliens known in simple terms as bugs, cyborgs, and illuminate, threatening to destroy the fictional interplanetary and faux democratic empire of Super Earth. Throw in some spores and genetically engineered decomposed bug corpses, and you've got yourself a sci-fi monster party. So this is the big part right here. Lynn is not a gamer. So for me, I definitely believe that all the good adaptations that have been coming out has a director or showrunner, writer who's involved that's really passionate and loves the games. But now we have Justin Lin, who's not a gamer at all. But he's leaned into his strength. All right, let's try it again. Lin is not a gamer and leaned into that as a strength while pitching his take on the material. Said insiders, he aimed to find the humanity in the characters. I don't know. I never played the game, but it looks like there aren't a main character. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, it's an extraction shooter, which I don't play at all. I'm not even sure what an extraction shooter even means. But like, how do you find a character? Like, are they just gonna create a character? I don't know. Maybe there is a main character in the games. But while building, he aims to find the humanity in characters and weave timely themes into the story while building out a world of mythology. There are plenty of details and waiting to be drawn, and it's something that is compelling to the filmmaker. It gives Lin a second potential franchise at Sony that has an upward trajectory. On top of working on the growing video game adaptation sphere, Lin remains in development as attached to direct One Punch Man. So that's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I don't watch it, but I'm aware of One Punch Man. So is he developing a movie for that? How would that work? He's also on Berserker, the adaptation of Keanu Reeves' created comic setup at Netflix, who now owns, who, as you may or may not know, just bought WB, so that's going to shake up the industry a lot. Though he's off a crime-filled steak horse at Amazon, though he was on one and now he's not. The director is known for turbocharging the Fast and Furious franchise into a multi-billion-dollar global phenomenon. After directing the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, he went on to direct Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast Furious 6, and Fast 9, Fast Saga. Collectively earned 2.6 globally. That's not very much, to be honest. 2.6 billion globally? All those movies? I figured it'd be way more than that. Lin also helmed Star Trek Beyond, the final film in the modern Star Trek trilogy. He most recently returned to his indie roots for Last Days, a true-life drama that premiered at this year's Sundance Film Festival. Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions previously worked together on Uncharted, starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, which earned $407 million globally, and is one of the top 10 highest-grossing video game adaptations globally. PlayStation Productions is also a producer on Peacock's hit series Twisted Metal, HBO's Last of Us. But yeah, I think PlayStation wants to do more movies now because they're like, gaming shit's not working out anymore. Turns out releasing one exclusive a year isn't working out for us. Anything else here about Helldivers over in no. I guess this guy is involved, but this is like December 2nd. But he's involved, but what does it say? He's doing Helldivers. Oh, Dauberman's banner, coin operated, was first deal look with Sony. Coin operated, that's obviously very game related. Until Dawn, which is the POS, I watched it. Not good. Doesn't deserve an nom for anything. They're gonna reboot Urban Legend again. Like, a fuck's sake, man. Reboots. Plus, it wasn't a 90s movie. Urban Legend, I think it came out in 2000. It might have been late 90s, I think. I'm not sure. But I feel like it might have came out like in the 2000, like 2000 the year. What was that? Oh, my phone. Gargoyles live action series. That'd be interesting. How are they going to do that? So he wrote the script for Helldivers. This Gary Dauberman, am I saying his name correctly? Dauberman? I don't know. I feel like there's more information about this Justin Lin. Like, I want to read about his not using his experience as a gamer. Because I read something more about this that isn't in this article, so I'm not sure why. No, that's not the right article. So there's a Entertainment Weekly article about it. Actually, wait. I don't think I'm on screen again. Share screen. Entire screen. Share audio if I need to, which I don't. But yeah. I think they have more over here. Because I want to read. I saw something about him saying, or someone saying something about or maybe I was wrong. Lynn is not a gamer and lean to that strength of pitching, take on material. Okay. I thought somebody said something else about this somewhere. Oh, this is just some quote about the last Fast movie. Okay, that's not interesting. Jesus. Is that the chick? She's looking fucking anorexic, man. Is that her? What's her face from fucking...
Interesting. I mean, Nancy's always been very into clothes.
She looks really skinny there. Nancy from Stranger Things, which season 3 is fucking ridiculous. Like, I can't even take it serious. I wish you didn't have to even see that POS's face on the screen. Apologies for being your eyes being defiled by the biggest POS in the entire world. I hope I didn't blind you with his disgustingness. I'm running out of topics. Those are all the topics I had. I don't know what else to talk about. I didn't think I'd run through them that quickly. I thought I had too many topics. Now I'm like, what else do I talk about? I haven't even been on for an hour yet. I don't want to start going down a whatever hole of things. Let's see what Wikipedia says about the Helldivers movie. Helldivers movie. Actually, PlayStation Productions. This would be interesting. See what else they're working on. Because they founded in 2019. I kind of remember when they came out with a trailer that was showing stuff. Future projects. This is what I wanted to look at. February 2022, they announced that Jack and Daxter film was revealed in development with Uncharted director Ruben Fleischer collaborating with the film Naughty Dog. A reboot of Resident Evil is in the works, which I was aware of too. And I'm interested in that one because I think they could really reboot it and make it into something way better than what it used to be. The first PlayStation Productions film not to be adapted by a Sony property. Yeah, well, it's owned by Capcom, so even though it did debut on the PlayStation. Yes, also adapting Sucker Punch's Ghost of Tsushima, Ben Studios' Days Gone, Japan Studios' Gravity Rush. I'm not even sure what that is. Arrowhead Games' Helldivers, feature film adaptation of Guerrilla Games' Horizon is also in the works, after previously being developed as a TV adaptation. It was cancelled. I thought they were doing a movie and a show. A live-action television series based on Santa Monica's God of War is in the works as well, which we are already aware of. And yeah, unsurprisingly, they're working on an Uncharted sequel, but we don't know nothing about that yet. But wait. What does it say about the 2016? Did I know they already had some whatevering casting? So they have a Wikipedia for the 2026 Resident Evil film, and it's going to be directed by Zach Kreger, who co-wrote the screenplay with Shay Hatton. Never heard of him. Shay Hatton, who worked on John Wick 3, Army of the Dead, Army of Thieves, John Wick 4. So he did a lot of shit with fucking Snyder, whose movies are boring as balls. Ballerina, what's that? So it stars Alston Abrams, who I'm not all that familiar with. Paul Walter Hauser, who is great. I like him. He's a good character actor. Zach Cherry, I can't stand. I don't like him. He bugs the crap out of me. He's on Fallout. He's also on that show on Apple TV, which I keep forgetting, whatever it's called. Severance? Yeah, Severance. He bugs me because he basically just plays the same character, and his stupid little mouth is always half open, and it drives me nuts. Callie Rise, don't know her. She's a boxer and actress. Interesting. Constantine films. Okay, this stuff is boring. Plans for another Resident Evil reboot began in 2022 following the critical and commercial failure of Welcome to Raccoon City. That was a Netflix show that I couldn't even get to the first episode because it was so bad. And it was cancellation of the Netflix television series. Speaking of Netflix shows that are so bad, I still haven't finished watching season 4 of Witcher because it's so bad. The series' future has been in discussion since former Constantine chairman Martin Moskowitz. How's that for a name? I'm Martin Moskowitz. Let's go have a bagel. Revealed the producers had plans for future installments and a new series. By 2023, several outlets reported a grant of $2 million from the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund. Yeah, Canada represent. The Crown Corporation Development Agency Ministry of Northern Development and Mines. I don't know. Ministry of Development and Mines. Why are they giving money for a movie or a show? I guess they're just trying to get people to shoot here. The production of a film titled Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles, while Krieger was eyed in Sony mid-2024, pre-production began in 2025 January with Constantine co-producing a new film. So Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles is not a thing anymore, or is that what they were going to call it? That makes it sound like it's a show. 4 studios, including Warner Bros. Pictures, who don't exist anymore, Netflix, bid for rights, with Columbia winning in March. How's Columbia beat out Netflix? Like, Netflix is kind of just buying out everybody now. Pretty soon, the entire industry of Hollywood is just going to be Netflix and Disney, owning each half. Though I don't think Amazon would do that. Amazon has enough money to not. And I like what Prime is doing with their adaptations. I don't want that to get fucked up. Ever since Fallout, I trust Prime now with their game adaptations. Original plans. Following the release of Welcome to Raccoon City in 2021, writer Johan Roberts stated that if a sequel were to be developed, he would like to adapt Code Veronica, which that would be cool. Referenced in the film with an appearance of the Ashford twins. And then RE4. He also expressed adapting 7 and 8. And I haven't played 8, and I'm struggling to get through 7. Just not digging the first person. Just not digging it. To me, that's not Resident Evil. Robbie ML. Oh. Canadian American actor. How can you be both? Pretty sure he is born in Canada. Stated he hopes to return as Chris. Well, he would be a good Chris. He does have a pretty Chris look. Yes, he wants to come back so he can just punch a boulder like Resident Evil 5. The game was still pretty good though. By June 2022, Tom Hopper. Oh yeah, he was in Umbrella Academy. Confirmed Sony and Constantine Films were pleased with the film's success on video demand. And what film are they talking about? Because this is the show, isn't it? Wait, is it a film? Wait, what the fuck? I'm confused. Okay, I'm confusing that with the Netflix show. This is a film. Huh, okay. I was thinking about the show. They're really awful Netflix show. This was a movie, so I got mixed up there. I don't know. That sounds like didn't do very good. Maybe I did better than they were hoping. Do you have Netflix? Not anymore. It's not good enough. I download anything I want to see on it. Just downloaded the first half of Stranger Things 5, and it's ridiculous. The show's become so dumb that it's kind of hard to watch. And then Frankenstein, which I think is super duper overrated. People are calling it a masterpiece, and that's just ridiculous. It's not even that good. That's just my opiniones. By October 2022, the film was one of several projects considered by executive producer Martin Moskowitz. Sorry, that's just the most Jewish name I've ever heard. Being developed alongside a television series which would have replaced Netflix. Hopefully, fucking my stupid thing. The heart, that little heart thing by the whatever blocks half of what you say. Hopefully, Netflix makes more Lord of the Rings games. Did they do that before? I thought Netflix still don't make games. They tried to, but they got out of it. That's probably why they bought WB Games, so they can just get them to make the games, because they still make good games. Like they made Hogwarts, which is amazing. They own NetherRealm, which makes the Mortal Kombat games. I don't know how that's gonna work out. With a lot of weird licensing issues, because it's like, does that mean Netflix owns all of the DC IPs at Warner Bros? Warner Bros? Yeah, I mean, we're just worried about things getting watered down, or like, there's going to be layoffs every time there's stuff like this happening. The people are going to get laid off. Sucks. And I don't really think Netflix has any kind of real gaming division other than just taking games that exist, but I don't believe they have an actual dev studio anymore. It's like they were trying to, but then they just gave up. Kind of like how Amazon gave up after that one game. Zach Kreger's involvement 2024 to present. In 2025 of January, Kreger was announced would co-write and direct the new Resident Evil film, which would serve as the reboot of the film series. Sorry, I keep saying shit in a weird way because I'm weird. Film rights holder blah 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 co-financed and produced alongside PlayStation Productions and Vertigo Entertainment. A bidding war between 4 studios ensued for the film rights, including Warner Bros., Netflix. In March 2025, it was revealed that Sony Pictures, who has distributed the previous live-action films under their Screen Gems label, won the bidding war. I don't get how any of that stuff works. It's like, I feel like Sony Pictures doesn't have as much money as Netflix, and I'm assuming to win the war, you offer the most money. I guess that's how it works. Columbia Pictures serving as the film's new distributor. In August 2025, Krieger revealed that the film would be an original story set in the Resident Evil universe and would not feature any characters from the game, saying, "I am not going to tell Leon's story because Leon's story is told in the games." September of 2025, Krieger stated that he has never seen any of the previous films, and the upcoming film will be more closely based on the Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4. So how would that work if you want to base it on 3 different games? You're just going to use parts of each? The principal filming began in Prague, October, so they're in the middle of filming it right now. Austin Abrams, he's a young one, 29, he's a kid. He's an American actor. Debuted in Gangster Squad. I saw that in theaters, but I don't remember him. He's probably like a child. He debuted in The Ticking Clock. Oh, look at that. Cuba Gooding. I don't know why that guy isn't a big time actor anymore. He should be. What do they have to say about? No, they don't have anything much to say about the Horizon adaptation in May 2023. Wait, I missed it. This is just like, yeah. Not much to say other than they're adapting and it's in the works. Days Gone. Anything to say? No. There's so little information. It's just a little blurb on the main page. So there's no actual page yet. Yeah. Ghost of Yote, or Ghost of not Yote, Ghost of Tsushima will be directed by Chad, who is a guy that did the John Wick films. He's like the co-creator of the John Wick movies. Gravity Rush. I'm not familiar with Gravity Rush. Action and video game. I don't know, it sounds like a racing game, it's not. Like, I hear Gravity Rush, I immediately think of like something like Wipeout or like F-Zero, but it's not. Helldivers, we already talked about that. Uncharted sequel, what do we know yet? Nothing, not a whole lot to say about the Uncharted sequel. Fleischer expressed interest in a sequel, citing the car chase from A Thief's End as a set piece he would like to replicate, but noted it was entirely dependent on the success of the first film. Following its opening weekend, Sony Pictures chairman said Uncharted is a new franchise. I guess they're like, all right, we did enough, we made enough first weekend. It's time for a sequel. So I guess they wait to see how the opening weekend does. In August 2023, producer Charles Rowan expressed optimism in the prospects for a sequel, saying, "We had a really good time in that movie. The fans really liked the movie, and people who didn't know anything about the game really liked the movie. Everyone liked the movie. You like the movie? I like the movie too. It was whatever. It was super average. Kind of like a letdown. It didn't feel like Uncharted at all to me. But you may or may not know that Wahlberg was originally supposed to play Nate. They've been working on this for like a long ass time. Like, I still remember almost back when the game first came out in 2007, the first one, they were planning on doing some type of adaptation, and it took this long to get it off the ground. Wahlberg aged out, so they had to get Tom Holland to do it. December 2023, Wahlberg revealed an interview that a script is being written. June 2024, Sony Pictures Entertainment Steve Annabelle confirmed a sequel is in development. Alright, what else can I talk about? I don't know. I don't think I've checked the... Actually, no, it's another thing where they don't have enough info for a full page yet. So it's just like a little blurby. It does have him history of it. So 2022, we already know this part. So it was going to be Mark Fergus and Hawk Otsby, which is one of the coolest names ever. Like Hawk Otsby? That just sounds like too cool to be a real name. But he co-wrote Iron Man, so... and Children of Men, which that's an awesome movie. During an investor briefing that May in 2022, President Jim Ryan, lying, flying, crying Jim Ryan, confirmed that God of War was in development. It was officially ordered in December 2022. We already know this part. Barlog. It just says Barlog. This is Corey Barlog, PlayStation Productions. A bunch of different names. Amazon studio head of television, Vernon Sanders, assured the series would stay true to the game, implying that there could be multiple seasons. Well, we already know that there is, so this is old enough. Old stuff. He stated they would apply the same amount of care they did for the television adaptation of The Last of Us, saying that they would be telling the whole story of the game. As without the time constraint of a film, they have multiple episodes. Also, that makes me worried about HBO now that HBO is part of Warner Brothers. So what's going to happen to HBO and HBO Max if Netflix takes over? Because HBO makes some high quality, the highest production quality out of all the big streamers. I think they have pretty high quality, bar quality, but so does Prime now. I think they do, but also, and even Apple Plus. But I think Netflix's quality is going down. I'm worried that's going to affect those other streamers, like the ones that they're going to own now. But the series was originally being written by Fergus and Osby, with Judkin serving as showrunner, but now we all know that none of that's true. In October 2024, it is reported that while multiple scripts for this first season have been completed, and although Sony and Prime gave praise, Fergus, Osby, and Judkin left the project as the studio wanted to start over. Though they praised the writing, but they're still going to start over. Like, what is that even about? I mean, those are some pretty high-profile writers. Like Fergus and Osby, they have a good pedigree. Prolific creator showrunner Raul Dumour is in heart. We already know that part. So they started pre-production in December, and it's been December for 6 days. So brand new pre-production. Do you have any more leaks from Zelda yet? Legend of Zelda film leaks. Sorry, I'm talking weird. Anything new? Anything new? Nah, still the same shit. Yeah. Alright, I'm over an hour and I don't know what else to talk about. Anyone else in the chat? Even though I talked about God of War thing, I already did make a video about it right here. I'll put that in the chat for all the 3 people that are here. That's my new video, and I'm working on a video breaking down the Fallout little clip we just watched. Did some editing, but I didn't want to fix it because the editing is not good. I don't know what to talk about. Give me a topic. Give me a topic in 5 seconds or we're done. We're done! Maybe I should just indulge myself and watch my own video on here, because that's how full of myself I am. I like watching my old videos just to see what I did wrong or right to make it better for the next time. Nada.
There do I see my mother. Oh, there do I see my father.
Ladies, gentlemen, gamer friendulums, and gods who refuse to pay child support Welcome back to the Game Adaptation Newscast. Today, we're diving into Amazon's upcoming God of War live-action series. Amazon, yes, the same company that delivers a kayak, vitamins, and a TV, plus all your emotional support plushie frogs all in one box.
Emotional, damn it!
Before we get any deeper into that, don't forget to like and...
It's indulging myself. So yeah. I had a lot of topics, and I thought it would take a while to get through all of them, but I don't know. Talking a lot like this tires me out. That's how old I'm getting. If it's just me talking, then what about you? Would you go on a live stream? Are you afraid to show your face? Are you a secret? Are you a secret person? Are you real? Are you sure you're not AI? No one else is in the chat. No D1 today. No Snow Bunny. What? Come on. Hey. You guys seen my cat yet? Say hi to my cat. Hey baby, say hi. Hi guys, I love you. I guess we got nothing else to talk about. So, have a nice day. Go play some games. Bye. 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 I love you. Bye. Go away. Just kidding. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for being here again, Noble. You rock. You're my #1 fan. But yeah, tell more people. I want to get my channel's starting to finally grow a little, and it's nice. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Keep gaming.